Hey there! Happy first day on Soundation. I'm here to show you how to get started. So I'm going to assume that you know how to get logged into Soundation. You sign into Google account and then you click login with Google and you're good to go. This is what you'll see when you get here. There'll be a little like welcome to Soundation video. You can just X out of that. It'll show you how to get started as well as some of the cool features. But we are just going to stick in the studio for our class. First thing you got to do, you got to create a project. Ways you can do that: there's a yellow button up here and there's a create project button right here. Your projects, once you create them, will show up over in this side. You only get 3 and they're all collaborative. They no longer do solo projects, which means like a private project basically. So let's go ahead and create a project and get started. When you get in, you see that it brings up just a blank project. You can add channels here. Audio channels contain sound. Instrument channels contain music notes, or what we call MIDI notes, M-I-D-I. And then we have effects channels, which contain effects, and you can send your sound from any other channel to these effect channels, and it'll run them through some filters and stuff. So that's adding channels. Up here we have some tools. We have the undo and redo button. We have the mouse selector. We have the scissor tool, and we have the stretcher tool. You see we have 2 ways to stretch: time stretch, pitch stretch. We have the rewind, play, record. We have the loop playback button, which is this yellow bar. So if I select these 2 measures and hit loop, see it turns it on. Now when it plays, it'll only play those 2 measures. This is really handy if you're working with a small section of music and you don't want to have to keep hitting stop, start, stop, start, stop, start. If you want to be able to hear the click while you're going, all you got to do is turn on the metronome. And this piano tool will turn on the virtual keyboard, which works with your instrument channels there, as you can hear. Okay, so that's what we have along the top here. This is your counter. It keeps track of your measure numbers and your beat numbers, or if you click on it, it changes to your seconds. So that's how we keep track of our time in our class. Think of this like your miles per hour. This is your beats per minute. So if I change it to 60 beats per minute, I now have 1 beat every second. So that's pretty cool. Don't mess with this. It's your time signature. I would just leave it at 4/4. You can change the title of your track by clicking here in this title area. So let's call this Project 1. You can enter a description, so like la-dee-da. Could even give it a genre too. Let's call it Neurofunk. Sure, why not? Okay, so you see my title is there. Moving right along, if I click on this smiley face, it'll open up some options that have to do with my account. So that's where that's at. If you want to add people to your track, we will do a collaboration project later where you actually get to team up with somebody and you both get to work on the same project. That's where that's at. Here on the right, we've got all kinds of options. We're currently looking at our library, which contains folders full of stuff. You can drag in all of this stuff and you can do stuff with it. So there you go, cool. If I hit the back arrow, I've got another kind of information which, as you can see, is called MIDI. So again, MIDI goes along with your instruments. And you'll notice that the computer does not allow me to drop it into the wrong kind of channel. It only lets me drop it into the right kind of channel. So it's actually choose my arrow, and I'm going to stretch this guy a little shorter. So there you go. 2 different kinds of information, and all of them are contained in this library. If you click on the next icon down, that's again collaboration options. You have your project storage area. You have your export storage area, your help area, your settings, which I would not mess with, and then if you have a keyboard instrument, which we don't, then that would be there. Mostly we are going to stay in this library and the export area. That's all you got to know. Okay, so that is how to get started. My next video will be how to use these 3 tools, the mouse, scissor, and stretch tool, with audio and MIDI clips. How do I stop this video? Boop.